This one tiny mistake turned a 1-cent coin into something worth more than a house, and most people don't even notice it. Imagine finding a simple 1-cent coin in your pocket, a coin so ordinary that most people wouldn't even look at it twice. But what if I told you that one specific 1946 wheat penny could secretly be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars, just because of a tiny mistake? Today, we are diving deep into the mystery, history, and shocking value of the 1946 wheat penny. And trust me, by the end of this video, you might want to check every coin you own. Let's start with the basics. The 1946 wheat penny was minted right after World War II, during a time when the United States was recovering from the war. Millions of these coins were produced, making them very common. At first glance, it seems like nothing special. It features Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, which is why it's called the wheat penny. Now here's something important. The weight of a standard 1946 wheat penny is about 3.11 grams, and it's made mostly of copper, around 95%, with a small amount of tin and zinc. This composition was restored after the war, since in 1943 pennies were made from steel due to copper shortages. So far, nothing crazy, right? But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1946 wheat pennies are the same. Some were accidentally made with errors at the mint, and these errors are what turn a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. Let me explain. During the minting process, coins are struck using dies. If something goes wrong in that process, it can create rare and valuable mistakes. And in 1946, several types of errors were discovered. One of the most valuable is the double die error. This happens when the coin design is stamped twice slightly off alignment. If you look closely at the letters or numbers, you might see a shadow or doubling effect. To an untrained eye, it might look like damage, but to collectors, it's gold. Another rare error is the off-center strike. This is when the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, causing part of the design to be missing. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin becomes, and then there's the possibility of wrong planchet errors. This is extremely rare. It means the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal blank. Imagine a 1946 penny being made on a leftover steel planchet. That would be insanely valuable. Now let's talk about value. A normal 1946 wheat penny in average condition might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But if the coin is in uncirculated condition, it can be worth anywhere from $10 to $50. But here's the shocking part, that if your 1946 wheat penny has a rare error, or is in near perfect condition, it could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. Some high-grade examples and error coins have sold for over $10,000. And while a true $1 million 1946 penny is extremely rare and more of a viral exaggeration, the possibility of finding a life-changing coin is very real, and this is why collectors are constantly searching through old coins, because the difference between a worthless penny and a valuable one is often just one tiny detail. Now you're probably wondering, how do you check your coin? Here's what you need to do. First, look at the date carefully. Make sure it clearly says 1946. Second, check for mint marks below the date. You might see a small letter like D or S. These indicate where the coin was made, and some mint locations are more valuable than others. Third, examine the coin closely under light. Look for doubling in the letters. Check if the design is off-center. Notice any unusual color or metal differences, and most importantly, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can actually reduce its value significantly. If you think you have something special, consider getting it checked by a professional coin grading service. Now here's the part most people ignore. Coins like this are still out there. They are sitting in jars, drawers, piggy banks, even in your daily change. People spend them without knowing their true value, and that's what makes this so exciting, because your next coin could be the one. Before you leave, take a moment and think about this. How many times have you ignored a penny? How many rare coins have passed through your hands without you even noticing? From now on, every coin you see, look at it twice, because hidden in plain sight could be a tiny piece of metal worth more than a house. Imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin, something most people ignore every single day. But what if that tiny coin in your pocket was actually worth thousands, or even enough money to change your life? Today, we are uncovering the shocking truth behind the 1950 wheat penny, its history, hidden errors, real value, and the tiny details that could turn an ordinary coin into a collector's jackpot. Make sure you watch till the end, because one small mistake could mean big money. Let's begin. The 1950 wheat penny is part of the famous Lincoln wheat cent series, which was produced from 1909 to 1958. These coins feature Abraham Lincoln on the front and two wheat stalks on the back, a design that has become iconic in coin collecting. Now here's something important: the 1950 wheat penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, San Francisco with an S mint mark. Each of these has different rarity and value depending on condition. Now let's talk about composition and weight. The 1950 wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams. This is important because any variation in weight could mean you have a rare error coin. At first glance, this coin might seem very common, and honestly, millions were made. But here's where things get interesting: not all 1950 wheat pennies are the same, some were accidentally made wrong, and those mistakes are what collectors are desperately searching for today. Let's break down the most valuable errors you need to look for. First, the double die error. This happens when the coin design is stamped more than once, slightly misaligned. If you look closely at the date or the word Liberty, you might notice a shadow-like doubling effect. This tiny detail can turn a 1-cent coin into something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Second, off-center strikes. This is when the coin wasn't properly positioned during minting. Part of the design will look shifted or missing. The more off-center it is, the higher the value. Third, die cracks and cut errors. These appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin. While they might look like damage, they are actually minting errors, and collectors love them. And now, the rarest possibility: wrong planchet errors. Imagine a 1950 penny being struck on the wrong metal, maybe a leftover blank from another coin. This is extremely rare, but if you ever find one, it could be worth a huge amount of money. Now let's talk about real value. A normal 1950 wheat penny in circulated condition is usually worth around 2 to 10 cents. In uncirculated condition, it can go from $10 up to $50 or more depending on quality. But here's the exciting part: high-grade coins, especially those in near-perfect condition, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and error coins, they can go even higher. Some rare error examples and top-condition coins have reached prices in the thousands. While a true $1 million 1950 penny is extremely unlikely, the idea comes from how rare errors and perfect condition coins can skyrocket in value, and this is what makes coin collecting so powerful, because the difference between a normal coin and a valuable one is often something most people completely miss. Now you're probably wondering, how do you check if your 1950 wheat penny is valuable? Here's what you need to do. First, check the date carefully, make sure it clearly says 1950. Second, look for the mint mark under the date. No mark means Philadelphia, D means Denver, and S means San Francisco. Third, examine the coin under good lighting, look closely at the letters and numbers. Do you see any doubling? Is the design off-center? Does anything look unusual? Fourth, check the condition. Coins with sharp details, clean surfaces, and minimal wear are always more valuable. And one very important tip: never clean your coin. Cleaning can actually destroy its value instantly. If you think you found something rare, it's always a good idea to get it checked by a professional grading service. Now here's the part that makes this exciting. Coins like these are still out there. They are hiding in old jars, piggy banks, drawers, and even in everyday pocket change. People spend them without realizing what they have, and that means you could already have one before you leave. Think about this: how many pennies have you ignored in your life? How many rare coins might have passed through your hands without you ever noticing? From today, start checking, because that one small coin could be worth more than you ever imagined.